everybody, Josh here back again with another writer's vlog, and odds are this is probably going to be the last one of these for a while. The interest just doesn't really seem to be there. Those of you who are interested, thank you so very much for watching these videos, and I really appreciate it. But until maybe the channel gets a little bit bigger and people are more interested in this, or maybe just until school kind of dies down a little bit, because it just started, so some of you might be in school and maybe you don't have time to watch YouTube. So until it seems like the interest in this has increased, I'm going to put a pause on these videos. I do want to come back to them again later though. But tonight's topic is something that happens to me occasionally when I'm writing. It's something I experience, and it's a little disconcerting, but maybe some of you have experienced it, and if you have, I would love to hear about it in the comments. But sometimes when I'm writing, I don't know, to say that sometimes the story writes itself is not accurate, but sometimes I find the characters do things that I didn't expect them to do, or that I didn't plan for them to do. They kind of take over and do something on their own for a minute, and just that experience is a little weird, because, you know, like when I sit down to write, I have a general idea, basically, of where I want to go. I have my major plot points, my major bullet points, you know, things that I definitely want to hit. I know where I'm beginning, I know where I'm ending, and I know the signposts along the way. But every once in a while, a character will go off half-cocked and totally screw up my entire plan. And that's awesome, because that means I am in some form or fashion not becoming the character, but becoming more acquainted with the character and what they would do, and something that I had originally planned for them to do, it didn't actually suit them. And then later on, as I became better acquainted with this character, it changed. And that's really kind of awesome, and it's my favorite part of writing, actually. And the reason I brought this up is because this happened to me in the writing of my novel just the other day. I was writing and I had a very specific plan for this one character, and she totally went and messed it all up for me. So now I have to go back and rethink that character and come up with an entirely new story. Because not only did she do something that I didn't plan for her to do, and that came as a surprise to me as I was writing it, her entire backstory changed. Just on the fly, it just kind of came to me, it just kind of came out, and it's really strange, but when that happens, that is the best part of writing to me, because the creativity just kind of explodes out in complete spontaneity. So sometimes when this happens, you have to go back and you have to rethink large chunks of story, which is what I'm going through right now. I have a character named Abigail who was originally just kind of like a surrogate mom. You know, she took in foster children, and just out of the blue I decided to make her a former nun who got excommunicated. And then she's a former nun who got excommunicated from this weird new church, because the story takes place in the future, so it's this weirdo new church, and she got excommunicated because a man looked at her, and it's through no fault of her own, but somebody looked at her lustfully, and so the church saw it as her fault, so she got excommunicated. And so just on the fly, because of this one character, I have to now create an entirely new weirdo religion that fits in the story. And it's gonna make the novel, when I'm done with it, probably much longer than I originally intended, because of this one random thing that came out of my fingertips as I was typing on the keyboard. Okay, and that's it. I'm mainly interested if any of you writers out there have experienced anything like this. If when you're writing, if at some point does it feel like the characters are acting on their own? Also, something I would like to get your input on is, do you think as writers, every character that we write somehow reflects on the author? Is it somehow some facet of their psyche? I would love to get your guys' thought on that. It's a very kind of philosophical kind of a question, and I think that could actually spawn a very interesting conversation. So let's talk about that in the comments as well. And then also, have you ever just had a character do something you didn't expect them to do, or did something you didn't plan for them to do? So I would love to hear about that kind of stuff as well. So writers out there, if you're watching this video, let's talk about that stuff in the comments. I think that would be a really fun conversation to have. And like I said, this is probably going to be the last writer's vlog I do for a while, at least until there seems to be a little more interest in it. Thank you guys so much again, those of you who are interested. I really appreciated all the comments you left, all the thumbs up you left. And speaking of thumbs up, segue! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.